Tzu Chi Foundation holds a press conference to address US Tzu Chi Headquarter's financial investments. Filipino Tzu Chi volunteers conduct aid distributions for survivors of a massive fire in Tondo. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. In Hualien, Taiwan, the Tzu Chi Foundation held another press conference, although this time it was to address the public's concern of the investment practices of the Tzu Chi headquarters in the United States, where the Deputy CEO of the U.S. headquarters further explained the financial workings of the U.S. chapter. On March 17th, the Tzu Chi Foundation held a press conference to explain the investment practices of its U.S. headquarters.
慈济美国总会呢
US Tzu Chi Headquarters is a 501c3 US-filed nonprofit charity organization. It is a financially independent entity from Taiwan's Tzu Chi Foundation. All donations are canvassed locally and used locally. We're not given funds from Taiwan.
To uphold the idea of being a self-sufficient chapter, the U.S. Tzu Chi headquarters invested a portion of its assets in the search for financial stability.
美国各大慈善基金会呢
All nonprofit charity organizations in the United States set aside part of their assets for investments. The U.S. Tzu Chi Headquarters Board of Directors set up a committee to manage our investments. This committee hired a professional investment manager to handle them. The investment direction is steady growth through investing in fixed deposits, bonds, and investment funds. Please be rest assured we don't directly purchase stocks in the stock market.
On-site reporters also asked about the 2009 investments in companies such as Boeing and tobacco-related corporations. William Ge responded that they've asked their investment manager to remove investments from these companies.
In regards to investing in a tobacco company, this is an area we need to improve on. If we have done so in the past, then in the future when investing, we will pay more attention to these issues.
The U.S. Tzu Chi headquarters thanks the public for their concerns and suggestions and promises to pay closer attention to its future financial dealings. Currently in Taiwan, the public is questioning the legitimacy of Hualien's Si Abode. However, the construction department of the Tzu Chi Foundation has displayed all licenses and permits related to the construction of the abode to prove such accusations are baseless.
Currently, the legitimacy of the warehouse building of Hualien's Si Abode is sparking controversy. However, records by Tzu Chi's construction department showed that though there were flaws during construction in 2006, the building is certainly legal.
Because our paperwork was incomplete, the county government asked us to resubmit it, since it took us some time to prepare, and the construction site couldn't wait any longer, so construction started first.
The Tzu Chi Foundation adhered to all the specified regulations and obtained all the license and permits required, proving that everything about the abode was legal. As to why Tzu Chi always gets to rezone the land it obtains, the answer lies in Taiwan's law.
Some land can be rezoned for social welfare and medical use. So if the zoning of a land that an applicant has does not match what he or she wants to do with it, and the purpose is related to social welfare or medical use, then of course he or she can file for rezoning, as stated by the law.
As Tzu Chi's work includes social welfare and medicine, and Taiwan does not have land designated for such use, thus all land obtained by Tzu Chi has to be rezoned.
Despite the recent controversies surrounding the Tzu Chi Nehu grounds, the facility remains in operation without interruption. We now take you to the grounds to see how recycling volunteers show their opinions through action.
When it gets busy, I come here every day, even on Saturday and Sunday. 75-year-old Zhang Wenyu has never worked a day in her life, but she has been recycling every day in this poorly ventilated metal shack for nearly 5 years, enduring the heat and stench. Despite the recent controversy surrounding the Tzu Chi Nehu grounds, these recycling volunteers remain committed to their work. The ongoing debate is relevant to us. We recycle for the planet, not just for Tzu Chi. Tzu Chi is providing us with a venue so we may fulfill the recycling mission.
We cannot stop others from criticizing. As long as we stand righteously, we don't have to care what others say. Eventually, they will know that what we are doing are the right things.
During this chaotic month, the Nehu grounds has attracted even more visitors who are either skeptical or curious. Volunteers took time to answer their questions and provide them with facts so they will be properly informed.
We should invite more community residents to take part in doing the right things and turn this place into a cultivation ground for people to ease their minds and purify their hearts. This is something that every volunteer should do.
Volunteers' love toward the planet and environment remain unchanged. The one change they choose to make is to make the society a better place.
In the past, Tzu Chi volunteers recorded their monthly contributions made by their members in their donation books. However, in an effort to go paperless, in October of 2010, Tzu Chi launched its first generation Jingsi EBook Reader. The 9-inch touchscreen reader also allows volunteers to record member donations. Here's more.
Sitting next to the lake under the shade of trees, Zhang Wenjiang is enjoying some light reading using his Jingsi EBook Reader. With the press of a button, the text is turned to speech. If you want to rest your eyes and enjoy the scenery, you can select the text-to-speech option.
Before, when I wanted to read the Buddhist scripture, I could never find the time to do so. But with this ebook reader, I can take it with me wherever I go. I can even play it while in the car.
Having had no time to read Buddhist scriptures in the past, the ebook reader has helped Zhang turn that around. Now 73 years old, Zhang first learned to operate the e-reader 3 years ago. Unfazed by electronic devices, Zhang has his grandchildren to thank for his mastery.
I have many grandchildren, so when I see them playing their video games, I often join them as well.
Familiar with the ins and outs of the ebook reader, Zhang often tutors his fellow counterparts. The 9-inch touchscreen reader was launched by Tzu Chi in October of 2010 in collaboration with ASUS and Zhonghua Telecom. The ebook reader is light and practical, allowing users to enjoy reading anytime and anywhere.
We took several environmental aspects into consideration, and we also wanted to make sure to protect users' eyes from the glare. We really have to thank Chairman Shi for making this possible.
Over 5 years, we have sold around 30,000 ebook readers. Compared with the total turnover for ASUS, it's next to nothing. But our focus is not on turnover. We never intend to profit from these readers to begin with.
Once
connected to the internet, readers can download thousands of ebooks anytime and anywhere.
It's like a mobile library of Buddhist scriptures. I have over 3,000 books stored in my reader. Imagine if I had to carry 10 books, let alone 3,000 of them.
A 700-page book is hard enough to carry, let alone carrying 10 books all at once.
We can adjust the font size and easily flip the pages. We no longer have to use a pen to do it.
The ebook reader is not only user-friendly, it also allows users to save both trees and paper while accessing a wealth of information right at their fingertips.
Tzu Chi's relief efforts in Bangladesh back in 1991 marked its first step towards international disaster relief. To date, Tzu Chi has helped more than 70 countries worldwide while upholding the principles of directness, priority, respect, timeliness, and practicality. Whether it is offering emergency medical assistance or long-term relief, Tzu Chi volunteers and team of personnel hope to provide timely assistance to places where help is most needed.
In 2013, Typhoon Haiyan ripped through Tacloban City, obliterating everything in its path. The devastation was unprecedented. Tzu Chi volunteers immediately mobilized to carry out disaster relief at Ground Zero, while launching cash-forward programs to help typhoon victims rebuild their homes and lives.
In all my years taking part in international relief efforts, I have never seen a disaster so devastating and of such magnitude. But I have also witnessed how the Filipino people, although their lives have been torn apart, still have the courage to restart their lives. Such resilience is truly moving.
The victims' inner strength, which helped them persevere under such adversity, in turn inspired Luo Meizhu to conquer all language and cultural barriers to support them through their darkest hours.
23, 24.
Thank you very much.
Check. 那个钱把它拿着以后再充。OK，请他拿着，请他拿好。
Apart from Tzu Chi volunteers, TEMA personnel also play a crucial role in Tzu Chi's international relief. This is Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital Anesthesiology Department Director Huang Junren, whose first international relief mission was to Thailand in 2011.
Although they don't speak the same language as us, and although the color of their skin is different to ours, as well as their beliefs, we understand their plight, and we can feel their pain. We are all the same.
At the disaster site, volunteers work collectively, making no distinction between you or me, as they only hope to extend their love to the suffering.
We are all bound together by a common purpose. Everyone works collectively towards a common goal. As long as we fulfill our roles and combine our efforts, together we can accomplish much.
How to mobilize manpower in the shortest amount of time is a test of one's wisdom. Zhang Yichen, who often leads Tzu Chi's international relief mission, says each experience brings him closer to realizing Tzu Chi's international relief principles.
One of the fundamental principles of Tzu Chi's international relief work is directness. We engage with the locals directly. The second is priority. We have to prioritize and ensure the aid goes to areas where it is needed the most. Then there is respect. We personally deliver the aid into the hands of those in need.
True compassion is not just having sympathy for another's suffering, but is to reach out to relieve that suffering with concrete action. With this in mind, Tzu Chi volunteers hope to use their love to help victims of disasters through their darkest hours.
In the second report of our urban mining series, we take a look at how sorted electronic waste is further refined to produce precious metals. However, such process produces harmful toxins, and thus licensed businesses must adhere to strict protocols for the sake of the environment and public health.
At over 1,200 degrees Celsius, this crucible has turned glowing red. The melted metal within is then poured into a mold. Soon, the liquid solidifies. This is possibly the highlight of urban mining. The solidified metal is gold. No bigger than a hand, it is worth over $30,000 US. The golden shine is the culmination of the hard work of many. Every day, more than a dozen dumpster trucks transport a city's unwanted electronic waste to this processing plant.
About some 1,000 tons are sent here every month.
The plant reprocesses discarded appliances and consumer electronics, and in turn provides the raw materials that businesses need to make new products.
About 50% of the raw materials are iron, 10% are copper. Aluminum is about 3 to 5%, and plastic is about 20%.
The old CRT TVs are taken apart manually, and the salvaged iron, copper, aluminum, and glass are purer than one can find in any natural mines.
Actually, mining is rather inefficient. Perhaps in 1 million tons of ore can we extract enough quality metals to make 1 ton of engines. The rest would be useless.
But just like mining, the plant employs a lot of staff who man various processing stations. At the same time, they have to be careful of the toxins within the waste and dispose of them properly.
Take this 7 kilograms cathode ray tube, for example. We'd have to pay about $2 for it. But it comes with a 15-kilogram glass panel and a bit of fluorescent dust, which means a total cost of $3. Illegal processing plants just don't want to pay for that.
With the hard work the plant has invested, garbage can rarely be turned into gold.
On the motherboard of every computer are gold-tip connectors which strengthen conductivities and prevent corrosions. Though the amount isn't much on one board, if there are 10,000 of them, 1 kilogram of gold can be extracted.
Through burning, we can reduce the volume of the raw materials. Afterwards, we will follow up with acid baths to extract the precious metals.
Those with high metal contents are sent directly to chemical processing, but those that are large in volume and low in content will be sent to an incinerator first. However, the toxic fumes released are a serious environmental threat. According to Taiwanese law, all exhaust and wastewater must be processed before being released into the environment. Thus, licensed businesses need to adhere to strict protocols.
We have secondary incinerators which are set at 950 degrees Celsius to take care of the dioxins produced from the initial incineration. Dioxins burn up at 850 degrees, so there will be no pollution.
When circuit boards are burned, the remaining ash is high in metal content. Through chemical processing, it becomes...
What comes out is a mud-like substance which we call fine gold sponge. By exposing it to high temperatures, we can refine the gold.
Due to the high purity of the extracted metals, businesses have been able to export them abroad. Though Taiwan lacks natural metal mines, it has learned to value the importance of urban mining.
Every year, we reclaim about 3 to 4 tons of gold, nearly 50 tons of silver, and over 1,000 tons of copper, which generates some $180 million in revenue, which just about covers our costs.
However, the electronic waste produced in Taiwan is finite and cannot satisfy the demand. It is up to the government to dictate how the industry shall develop.
In March, a fire broke out in a poverty-stricken residential area of Tondo in the Philippines. To offer assistance, volunteers held aid distributions over a span of 2 days, where relief items and emergency cash were given to the survivors. In the wake of a terrible fire in early March, displaced Filipinos are crowded in like sardines at an activity center. After an initial disaster assessment, Tzu Chi volunteers are back to hold a relief distribution here in Parola, Tondo. Also helping out is this local resident who was a fire victim himself.
Even if I can't donate money to the poor, I can still find ways to help the needy.
The fire destroyed over 5,000 houses in Parola. To help recovery efforts, Tzu Chi volunteers held 3 relief distributions over the space of 2 days.
With open arms, sabi ko nga, we welcome them anytime because they are already part of Pigivara Elementary School.
The same heart of compassion can be found in the fire victims as they donate generously to Tzu Chi to help the less fortunate.
Though they have been affected by the fire, the survivors still give back to the less fortunate by donating whatever they can.
Giving to one another, Merlinda Montoya and Germelinda Madeline became fast friends after sharing a breakfast together while waiting for the distribution to start.
I'm so happy because I found a new friend while waiting around 4 in the morning outside the school.
I'm so glad to receive Tzu Chi's assistance. This helps my family out a lot. I won't forget this gift of love.
Besides relief items, which included daily necessities, rice and blankets, Tzu Chi also gave out emergency cash.
Bibili po namin ng yero. Ang bili ng
I will buy a roof.
pangtutulugan namin po.
This cash is very useful for me. I'll use the money to rebuild my business, and little by little, I can start repairs on my home.
Leaving with smiles on their faces, these victims are well on the road to recovery with Tzu Chi by their side. Following a successful separation surgery on March 13th, formerly conjoined twins Jenalyn and Geraldine were recently moved out of the pediatrics ICU. We get a look at their latest condition.
Coming out from the pediatric intensive care unit with her formerly conjoined twin girls in hand is Ludi de Guzman of the Philippines. Today, Jenny Lynn and Jill Lynn will be transferred to the General Hospital ward.
On March 14th, breathing tubes on the twins were removed, and nasogastric tubes were taken out on March 16th. The twins' digestion systems are working properly, so we will give them some milk to drink.
The twins just drank about 50 cc of milk. We'll give them more milk to drink for their next meal. Tomorrow, they'll be able to drink 150 cc, which was their normal amount before the surgery.
After receiving 24-hour care at the ICU for 3 days, formerly conjoined twins Jenny Lynn and Jill Lynn's milk intake has returned to normal. Their livers are also recovering well from the separation surgery.
We will check up on them every few days to make sure their livers are functioning properly. Their condition is getting better and better.
Seeing her daughters living separately as individuals, Ludi de Guzman can finally put her worries to rest. Guzman says she waited for more than a year for this moment to come true.
I often felt depressed before the operation because I was worried. Back then, I had to carry my children around all the time. Now my heart is at ease because my daughters can live happily as individuals. I'm extremely happy and grateful.
Next, Jenny Lynn and Jill Lynn will undergo rehabilitation. The surgical threads on the twins' wounds from the separation surgery will be removed in 8 to 10 days. Despite being far away from home, the love and support of medical staff and volunteers have given Ludi de Guzman the courage and strength to face the days ahead.
It is said that everyday experiences can be turned into great learning opportunities. Last week, 139 students from the Kuala Lumpur DaAi Educare Center and the Tzu Chi Panda in the DaAi Kindergarten went on a field trip to the Kuala Lumpur Tzu Chi Free Clinic. There, the students experienced what a medical personnel's job entails on a day-to-day basis.
A group of kindergartners arrived at a Tzu Chi Free Clinic. Are they here to see the doctor?
Some children are afraid to come to the doctor. However, we want to let our students understand that, in fact, doctors and nurses are here to safeguard our health and well-being. We hope to eliminate their fears.
It turns out the students are on a school outing here at the Kuala Lumpur Tzu Chi Free Clinic. The experience opened their eyes to a whole new world.
By showing them actual dental procedures, we hope to plant a little seed in their minds so that when they grow up, they won't be intimidated to come to clinics like this.
Through actual demonstrations, children not only learned how to brush their teeth, but are taught to take care of their health from a young age as well.
I learned how to properly brush my teeth. We have to brush in a circular motion, and we have to clean them properly.
I learned about the brain today. Our brain is used to store things, and it also controls all the functions of our body.
I let them have a go at listening to each other's heartbeats and taking blood pressure measurements, so they understand that they are responsible for taking care of their own health.
Expressing their thanks to the medical personnel through song, at the end of the visit, students went home with valuable knowledge and an eagerness to put it into practice.
At the end of the show, we bring you images of a recent event held at the new Tzu Chi Retreat facility in Taman Molek of Malaysia's Johor Bahru. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.